Today we have the new release from GPT 4.1 in the API. This literally just came out a few hours ago, like you can see right here. And this is a new series of GPT models featuring major improvements on coding. Now, this is the first thing to note about the whole update is that it's specifically focused on coding. And this is specifically in the API. If you actually go to ChatGPT, from what I can see, it's not actually available inside there. So if we go on the drop down, you can see inside the list, there is no 4.1 there. There's GPT 4.5 still, but there is no 4.1, which is weird. But basically, this is mostly focused on coding. I want to show you today how you can build anything and also how you can get free access to this model, because despite it being an API, you can get free access, and I'll come on to that later. They've basically said today we're launching 3 new models in the API: GPT 4.1 mini and GPT 4.1 nano. So there are 3 different models here. And these models outperform GPT 4.0 and GPT 4.0 mini across the board with major gains in coding and instruction following. They also have larger context windows. From what I've tested, it's ridiculously fast at replying, but we'll come on to that later. And if you're wondering, okay, how does this perform on benchmarks? So you can see for coding, GPT 4.1 scores 54.6% on SWE bench verified, improving by 21.4% over GPT 4.0 and 26.6% over GPT 4.5, which is interesting, right? So it's a lot better than GPT 4.5 for coding, as you can see right here. In terms of instruction following, on scales multi-challenge benchmark, a measure of instruction following ability, GPT 4.1 is superior over GPT 4. All right, so there's some big improvements here. In terms of long context, on video MME, a benchmark for multimodal long context understanding, GPT 4.1 scored 72% on the long, no subtitles, a 6.7% improvement over GPT 4.0. So basically, this is a huge improvement over GPT 4.0, and apparently, according to the benchmarks, it's also outperforming GPT 4.5. Trying to figure out, okay, what does this mean in terms of where are we going in terms of the numbers here? Because we're going up and down like a yo-yo, GPT 4.5, then 4.0, then 4.1, etc. But here we are, my friends, all right? So the GPT 4.1 family intelligence by latency, you can see the differences here. So you've got GPT 4.1 nano at the bottom, and then you have GPT 4.1, the main model over at the top over here. Now, if you want to get access to this, one of the easiest ways is just go over to OpenRouter, and you can actually add a model. So you can use GPT 4.1, and then you can add different models over here. If we have a look at the latest models, we've got 3 different options. So we have 4.1, 4.1 mini, 4.1 nano. Now, you can see the differences in prices here. So 0.1 per million input tokens, 0.4 per million input tokens, and then $2. All right. So you see the prices right there. And these support a 1 million token context window, which is absolutely huge versus previous context windows from OpenAI. And here are the prices. This is also available inside RuCode, Klein, OpenRouter, of course, KiloCode, etc. So if you do want to use it, if you want to use it like ChatGPT inside the chat, then just go to OpenRouter, find the model that you want to use, because obviously there's 3, and then you can click on chat over here and decide which one you want to use it. And I'll also be testing this against Claude 3.7 Sonnet as well in a later video. So let's keep going through now. So these improvements in instruction following reliability and long context comprehension also make the 4.1 models considerably more effective at powering agents. Now, 2025 is the year of agents, and I can understand why they're starting to release models just for coding, because that's where everything is going. If you look at the way the world is going, everything is revolving around agents, building apps, building tools, etc. And this just probably is more optimized for that, more efficient for that, and more powerful for building out better quality agents with ChatGPT. What else we got here? They've also said that they're going to begin deprecating GPT 4.5 preview in the API. And the reason for that is that GPT 4 offers improved or similar performance on many key capabilities, but it's lower cost and it's lower latency. All right, so GPT 4 preview is actually going to be turned off in 3 months. Something to bear in mind if you've built stuff already around GPT 4. And what's interesting here is they've said we'll continue to carry forward the creativity, writing quality, humor, and nuance you told us you appreciate in GPT 4 into future API models. Now, they've also broken this down with alpha testers. This is really interesting because Windsurf have actually offered free API usage of ChatGPT 4. So if you go over to Windsurf, I'll be showing you how to build stuff later today. But if you go into Windsurf over here, and I'm on the free plan, you'll see from the drop down, you can select all these different options. And the main one you want to focus on is GPT-4, and that is free for a limited time to write and chat directly inside Windsurf, which is absolutely awesome. So if you want to get free access to this, if you want it for free using ChatGPT, then you can use Windsurf. I may compare this as well against Gemini 2.5 Pro as well as Claude, because it's going to be interesting to see. My personal favorite for coding right now is actually, I would say it's a tie between Claude 3.7 Sonnet and Gemini 2.5 Pro and Claude 3.7 Sonnet. Gemini is typically a lot faster, but you hit the limits faster as well. And if you can code with all three for free for now with Windsurf as well, then that's absolutely awesome, right? So let's keep going through now. We've got the SWE bench verified accuracy. GPT 4.1 is right at the top there in terms of accuracy. And this is a model basically where a model is given a code repository and issue description and must generate a patch to solve the issue, right? Performance is highly dependent on the prompts and tools used, blah, blah, blah. But basically this is outperforming all the previous models on the same benchmark test. And apparently this is much better for editing large files. The good thing about this is you could use it locally. You could build with Visual Studio Code or Windsurf because it's editing like a large set of files. It should be better and more accurate at doing that. In terms of the ADA polyglot benchmark accuracy, you can see GPT 4.1 right here. This is actually not outperforming OpenAI O1, so just bear that in mind. And O3 Mini as well is still outperforming GPT 4.1 in terms of polyglot accuracy. Let's keep going through now. Here's an example of ChatGPT 4.0 versus GPT 4.1. So basically, this is a prompt to make a web application flashcard, right? So it's a flashcard web application. The user should be able to create flashcards, search through their existing, kind of like an app style. And you can see the differences in the UI right here. So if you have a look here, the UI is just a lot nicer on this side versus this one. This is 4.0, this is 4.1, and the quality is better, right? This one is a lot more simplified when you actually look at the responses right there. So we've got some real world examples. So Windsurf have said Windsurf is kind of like Visual Studio Code. It's similar, has some better features, but we'll come on to that later. Windsurf have said GPT 4.1 scores 60% higher than GPT on Windsurf's internal coding benchmarks, which correlate strongly with how often code changes are accepted on the first review. Their users noted it was 30% more efficient in tool calling and about 50% less likely to repeat unnecessary edits, right? So it's basically just a lot better coded, more efficient. Here's another one from Kodo. Instruction following is supposed to be a lot better. This is a huge page, by the way. If you look, like there's so much to this. There's so many different benchmarks and statistics and that sort of thing, which is really interesting. And then you can see here we've got the other models. But yeah, basically this is it. Now, if you want to see the reaction, what's the reaction so far? So this is the tweet from Sam Altman. Again, this just came out like literally a few hours ago, as you can see. So Sam Altman says GPT 4.1 and Mini and Nano are now available in the API. These models are great at coding, instruction following, and long context, 1 million tokens. Benchmarks are strong, but we focus on real-world utility, and developers seem very happy. GPT 4.1 family is API only. But again, if you want to work around that, if you want to start using it inside the chat, then just go to OpenRouter. All right, so all the video notes, by the way, inside the AI Profit Boardroom, as you can see right here. And if you go inside OpenRouter, you can start using it, and you can even connect it to web search right here. So if we say, okay, what happened today, 15th April 2020, we're using GPT 4.1. If we hit enter, that should be connected to the web, and we should be able to use this as a chat model, not just for APIs, all right? As you can see, it started finding the details here, and you can use it inside the chat. It's super fast when it replies. It's absolutely awesome for that. Thomas Reuters have also been using it for AI assistance, that sort of thing. MMU accuracy, so here's some more benchmarks. GPT 4.1 is outperforming 4.0, but OpenAI O1 is still outperforming it, right? So these models are still more powerful. GPT 4.5 is on par for MMU accuracy. And then you got Mass Vista accuracy over here. So it's tied with pretty much everything. 4.1 and 4.1 Mini are performing pretty well right there. And here we go. Now, if you're wondering, okay, what's the pricing? Here's the comparison of each. So in terms of, where is it now? Where's that pricing gone? Here we go. Here we go. All right, so model, you got 4.1, 4.1 mini, and 4.1 nano, right? So nano is way cheaper versus 4.1 mini versus 4.1. So the full model, like full power, is pretty expensive. But if you use a nano version, it's cheap as absolute chips right there. And then overall, we've given a nice little conclusion, which is GPT 4.1 is a significant step forward in the practical application of AI by following real-world developer needs, all right? So let's see what it can do. Let's take this bad boy for a spin. We're going to have a cheeky gander now. I'll use it for free inside Windsurf because I know that's what the peeps want to see at home. We're going to open it up. Here we go. I don't know why OpenAI, it gets a lot of hate these days, to be honest with you. But we're just going to give this a cheeky. So I'm going to open up a folder over here and we'll set up a new folder and we'll just try and create like a 3JS runner game, just see what happens. All right, we'll grab one of the prompts from the AI Profit Boardroom because that is the place to go for prompts, my friends. So what we can do is if we go down here and we'll take an Optimus Alpha prompt. Let's see what we got. We're going to create a dinosaur game. We'll grab this prompt. We'll go back into Windsurf inside the write section. So you want to make sure you use write. And then also select GPT 4.1. By the way, use dark mode in Windsurf because light mode is absolutely terrible. All right, and then we're going to say, make me a captivating, endless runner game. Key instructions on the screen. P5JS scene, no HTML. I like pixelated dinosaurs and interesting backgrounds. We're going to give that a cheeky whirl now. We'll hit enter and we'll see what we get back. So it's going to start generating now and we'll see what we get back in a second. We can also do the same inside OpenRouter chat. So if you go inside OpenRouter, again, depending on which one you select, I would go for Nano if you're a bit of a cheapskate on a budget. Go inside the chat here, plug in the prompt, and then hit enter, and you're good to go on that, my friends. So it's beginning to generate that. It does say the request is taking longer than expected. I can imagine so many people have jumped onto Windsurf and just started rinsing it for credits, but we seem to have got that back. All right, so we've got the P5JS here. Let's grab that. Then what we're going to do is we'll go over to P5JS editor and we'll just hit play on that, and there we go. We have the game ready to go. Let's see what we got here. Oh, it's incredible, isn't it? It was pretty fast, to be fair. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't lie to you. Like, that is really fast. And we just built a game for free using P5JS and Windsurf, and you know exactly how to do it. If you want the prompt for that, go inside the AI Profit Boardroom. It is a place to be, and prices are going up this month, so make sure you sign up now before you miss it. So that's basically it. That's how you can use this whole model, and it's pretty simple and easy to build. We'll build some more stuff in a sec, but yeah, there'll be more videos coming on like how to build things with ChatGPT, and I'll put all the prompts inside the AI Profit Boardroom. If you actually want a community that's focused on making money, saving time, and growing with AI, growing your business, feel free to get the AI Profit Boardroom. It's an amazing community. Comes with all my best SOPs, tips, templates, workflows, etc. like you can see right here. And if you want to get my workflows for basically building anything with ChatGPT 4.1, you can get that inside here. It's got like many different SOPs. Like you can see tons of different SOPs, including how to use Windsurf, Bolt DIY client, directly in the chat, made.com, and root code with ChatGPT 4.1. Also, you can ask in the community here any questions you have. And additionally, just jump on the weekly Q&A calls, which also get recorded if you can't make them. So make sure you sign up now before you miss out. And if you want a free one-to-one SEO strategy session that shows you how to grow your business with SEO, feel free to get that. We'll show you how to retake websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors this month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. And on this free link building acceleration session, you'll get a custom tailored game plan to save you hundreds of hours with SEO and get you more free leads, sales, and profits using this. All right. So you can jump on the call. It's based on what works for all our clients, like you can see right here. Jump on the call, ask any questions you have, and you can book that in directly inside the chat here.